War Minister Grohl shook his head reluctantly. If they have ships that can appear anywhere instantly, we cannot guarantee success, and failure would mean certain retaliation. Their technology violates expected development patterns, noted the science representative from the Eridani Collective. Humans think differently. They combined our concepts in ways we never considered. Elder Zim, who had joined the inner circle discussion, spoke thoughtfully. Perhaps that is why we classify them too low. We judge them by our standards, not recognizing their unique potential. On the observation deck of the council station, Doyen Choi stood alone, looking out at the stars. A message from Earth appeared on his secure tablet, President Zhu congratulating him on his handling of the council. The quantum network that humans had developed allowed instant communication across any distance, another breakthrough the galaxy would soon discover. The door slid open, and Science Officer Drac entered cautiously. "Ambassador," he said, "the Inner Circle has reached a decision. They will propose reclassifying Earth as a Category 1 civilization, with special status." Doyen nodded. It was a start, an acknowledgement of reality rather than a concession. "And unofficially?" he asked. Drac's inner eyelids blinked nervously. "Many are afraid, Ambassador, not just of your technology, but of what it represents. You have changed what we thought possible." Doyen turned back to the stars. "Change is often frightening, Officer Drac, but it is also necessary." As emergency meetings continued throughout the station, the news spread across the galaxy. The humans had arrived, not as humble newcomers, but as a force that would reshape the cosmic order. In the bustling city of Busan, Earth transformed into the center of galactic attention. Delegates from over 200 different civilizations gathered in a massive conference hall, their diverse forms and appearances creating a stunning tableau of cosmic unity. Professor Suvinyun stepped forward, her voice calm and resolute. She spoke about humanity's unique approach to technology, not as a tool for conquest, but as a means to support and enhance life. Her words resonated through the hall, challenging centuries of traditional thinking about technological progress. After her speech, Elder Zim, a wise representative from an ancient civilization, shared his perspective. He acknowledged that humans had shattered the old way of measuring a civilization's worth by its age. Instead, he emphasized that true innovation comes from understanding and perspective. The Treaty of Earth emerged from these discussions, a groundbreaking agreement that would reshape how different species would share knowledge and technological advancements. It was more than a document. It was a promise of mutual respect and collaborative growth. As the conference concluded, Director Tejo and Ambassador Liska watched the numerous spacecraft rise into the sky, each representing a different world, a different culture. Their conversation was brief but profound. Liska recognized that humans had fundamentally changed the galactic understanding of progress and potential. Tahoe's final words captured the essence of their achievement. Civilization should never be judged by a single rigid standard. Diversity, empathy, and openness were the true markers of advancement. The summit marked a turning point in galactic history, with humanity emerging not as conquerors, but as bridge builders and wisdom sharers. War Minister Grohl slammed his armored fist on the speaking platform. The reptilian military leader represented the Drac Empire, one of the most powerful military forces in the galaxy. They must be contained before they expand, he insisted, yellow eyes narrowing. The humans have clearly hidden their true nature. They lie among the stars like predators in tall grass. We must act now, decisively, before they grow stronger. Several representatives voiced agreement, particularly from species that competed with humans in trade or had territorial disputes with Earth. Doyen raised a hand, requesting to speak. The Council Master, a floating crystalline being, acknowledged him. War Minister Grohl suggests containment, Doyen said calmly. That would be unwise. Our ships can reach any system instantaneously, and that's just one of our breakthroughs. The veiled threat hung in the air. Quantum-shifted drives meant Earth vessels could appear anywhere, at any time, without warning. No blockade could contain them. No defense system could prevent their arrival. "Are you threatening the Council?" demanded Grohl, hand moving to the ceremonial weapon at his side. "Not at all," Doyen replied with a slight smile. "I am simply stating facts. Earth wishes peace. We have always wished peace, but we will no longer accept second-class status." The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. For 10 years, the Council had dictated terms to Earth, believing humans had no choice but to comply. That reality had vanished overnight. Senior Counselor Trax looked ashen. Just days ago, he had dismissed warnings about human advancement. Now his negligence had led to this crisis. "The humans have deceived us all," he said weakly. "They pretended compliance while secretly developing forbidden technologies." "Forbidden by whom?" Doyen asked. "Earth signed agreements limiting technology transfer to our world. We never agreed to limit our own research." Science Officer Drac, who had long suspected human capabilities exceeded their reports, stepped forward. "Ambassador Choi speaks truth. I reviewed our treaties. Humans carefully avoided promising to restrict their independent development." The revelation sent another wave of murmurs through the chamber. The humans hadn't broken any agreements. They had simply found the gaps in them. "What do humans want?" asked Elder Zim finally. The ancient blue-skinned diplomat had witnessed many species join the galactic community over his long life. None had entered quite like this. Doyen looked around the chamber, meeting the eyes, stalks, and sensory organs of the gathered representatives. "Only what we have always wanted: respect and fair treatment." In the tense silence that followed, High Minister Laurel of the Galactic Security Council approached the central platform. "Ambassador Choi, your world has demonstrated remarkable initiative. But surely you understand our concern. Technologies developing too quickly can threaten galactic stability." "We understand your concern," Doyen acknowledged. "Earth has had similar fears throughout our history when new powers emerge. But we have no interest in domination or conquest. We seek only our rightful place." "And what place is that?" asked Laurel carefully. "As equals, not as children to be guided or primitives to be managed, but as full partners in galactic civilization." The Council Master's crystalline form glimmered as it processed the situation. "Ambassador Choi, the Council requests a detailed accounting of Earth's technological capabilities. For mutual understanding." Doyen smiled politely but firmly. "With respect, we will share information appropriate to our new relationship, but Earth's full capabilities remain our own concern, just as the elder races do not share all their secrets with each other." This response triggered another round of protests, but they lacked the earlier conviction. Reality was settling in. Humans were no longer supplicants. In a secure chamber adjacent to the main council hall, an emergency session of the council's inner circle convened. The 12 most powerful civilizations gathered to discuss the human problem. "Could we simply eliminate them?" asked the Vorg representative bluntly. "One concentrated strike at their homeworld." As the meeting on Earth concluded, Minho offered a final thought that summed up humanity's silent revolution. "The Galactic Council gave us a roadmap showing what they thought possible. We used it to go places they never imagined. The Raxan Confederation blockaded Earth's only approved trade route, claiming territorial rights. Their warships formed a tight barrier across the jump point, preventing any Earth vessels from passing through. 3 human diplomatic ships hung motionless in space, having been stopped before they could enter the passage to the central trading worlds. "You must comply with restrictions," the Raxan commander told Earth's diplomats through the video communication channel. His scaly face showed no emotion as he spoke. "Your world has no standing to challenge us." Ambassador Minjin Lee kept his face calm despite the growing frustration. For 10 years, humans had played by the Galactic Council's rules. They had accepted unfair trade terms, limited technology access, and second-class status in galactic affairs. The Raxan blockade was the final insult. "The Council has authorized Earth to use this trade route," Minjin replied. Your actions violate established agreements. Agreements change, the Raxon commander said. This sector now falls under Raxon protection. Category 4 civilizations must request special permission to transit our space. The real reason was obvious. Earth's exports had been growing too competitive. Despite restrictions, human-made goods were gaining popularity in galactic markets. The Raxon Confederation, once dismissive of Earth, now saw humans as economic rivals to be contained. Aboard the lead diplomatic vessel, Communications Officer Sora Park sent an encrypted message back to Earth. The quantum transmission was undetectable by Raxon sensors, utilizing technology that officially didn't exist. Blockade established. Raxon refusing negotiation. Diplomatic options exhausted. In the high orbit of Earth, President Juwu Park received the message in the Global Defense Center. Though nearly 80 years old now, her mind remained sharp. The senior leadership gathered around her as she considered the situation. "We knew this day would come," she said. "The question is, are we ready?" Director Sunwoo Choi nodded. "The Prometheus and her sister ships are fully operational. Admiral Han awaits your command." For a moment, President Juwu was silent. This decision would reveal Earth's true capabilities to the galaxy. There would be no going back. "Send the order," she finally said. Far across the solar system, Admiral Juno Han received the emergency transmission aboard the EDS Prometheus, humanity's first quantum-shifted dreadnought, hidden in the shadow of Jupiter. The massive warship had been constructed in secret over 5 years, its existence unknown to any alien species. "The negotiations have failed," came President Juwu's voice over the secure channel. "It's time." Juno felt a mix of tension and pride. The Prometheus represented humanity's greatest achievement, a vessel that could instantly travel anywhere without using the established jump networks that the Galactic Council controlled. "Understood, Madam President," he replied. "Prometheus is ready." He turned to his bridge crew, all elite officers who had trained for years for this moment. "Initiate quantum shift. Target coordinates. Raxon blockade, 500 kilometers from their command vessel." Tactical Officer Jin Woo-yoon entered the coordinates. "Ready, Admiral." Chunho took a deep breath. "Execute." The massive ship hummed as the quantum drive engaged. There was no dramatic flash, no sensation of movement, just a momentary disorientation as the Prometheus instantly traversed hundreds of millions of kilometers of space. At the Raxon blockade, the aliens continued to lecture the human diplomats about their limited rights in galactic society. Without warning, alarms blared across the Raxon command ship. "Impossible energy signature detected," a Raxon officer shouted. When the Prometheus appeared instantly beside the Raxon blockade without using known jump points, the alien commanders couldn't comprehend what they were seeing. No ship that size could possibly appear without using the jump network. The vessel wasn't just unexpected, it should have been impossible. "What is that?" the Raxon commander demanded, his earlier confidence shattered. On the human diplomatic vessel, Ambassador Minjin allowed himself a small smile. "That is the EDS Prometheus," he informed the Raxon commander. "A Earth defense ship." The Raxon commander stared at the massive human warship. It was larger than any vessel humans should have been able to build, with energy readings that surpassed even Raxon military technology. "This is impossible technology for humans," gasped the Raxon commander as 4 more Earth vessels materialized alongside the Prometheus, appearing from nowhere like ghosts. The underwater facility hummed with activity as final preparations were made. This place had been built in the early days after first contact, its construction hidden from alien observers through careful planning and misdirection. Now it housed technologies that would shock the galactic community. Far above Earth, on the massive rotating station that served as the Galactic Council's headquarters, Science Officer Drac studied footage of human development with growing concern. The reptilian alien had been monitoring Earth for years, noticing patterns that others missed. "Their adaptation rate is unprecedented," he told Senior Counselor Trax, displaying charts comparing human progress to other recently discovered species. They're integrating technologies in ways we never anticipated. The luxury of Trax's office reflected his high status. The senior counselor barely glanced at the data, his six-fingered hand dismissively waving away the concern. They're just clever imitators, Trax dismissed. Nothing more. Trax's inner eyelids blinked in frustration. With respect, Counselor, I believe we are underestimating them. Their reports are perfect, too perfect. They show exactly the progress we expect, no more, no less. You see problems where none exist. Trax replied. Humans are following the standard development path like all young species. Their technology is provided by us, their advancement controlled by us. Back on Earth, President Ju Park stood before the quantum drive prototype. Though in her 70s now, she remained sharp and determined. She had overseen humanity's secret technological revolution from the beginning. 8 years, she said softly. When the aliens first arrived, they told us it would take 500 years to reach this level. Director Sunwoo nodded. We learned from them, but we didn't think like them. That made all the difference. The test chamber was separated from the observation room by thick, transparent barriers. Engineers made final preparations as the quantum drive powered up, its core beginning to glow with blue-white energy. The test vessel is ready, Yunha reported. We'll send it from here to the receiving station on the dark side of the moon. President Jiwoo watched intently. If this works, everything changes. The small unmanned test vessel hummed as energy built around it. Then, with a flash of light that wasn't quite light, it simply vanished. No sound, no dramatic effects, just there one moment and gone the next. All eyes turned to the monitoring station, where Minho tracked the vessel's journey. Transit complete, he announced after a tense moment. Perfect arrival at the lunar station. The journey took 0.08 seconds. The room erupted in celebration again, but President Jiwoo remained focused. How long before we can scale this to a ship that can carry people? She asked. 6 months, Sunwoo replied. We already have the designs completed for the Prometheus. The Prometheus would be humanity's first true starship, built in secret facilities throughout the solar system. Its components were disguised as mining operations or research stations, all operating within the limits imposed by the Galactic Council. That evening, in the underwater facilities conference room, Earth's leadership gathered to discuss the future. We must be careful, Admiral Junohan cautioned. Once we reveal our true capabilities, the Council may see us as a threat. They already fear our potential, Taho Kim pointed out. The once young diplomat had become Earth's ambassador to the Galactic Council, growing skilled at navigating alien politics while gathering crucial intelligence. Why else restrict our development so severely? They sense something in us that worries them. The question is when to reveal ourselves, President Jiwoo said, and how much to show them. The discussion continued late into the night. Earth's strategy had worked better than anyone had hoped. By appearing compliant while secretly advancing, humans had gained years of unrestricted development. But maintaining the deception was becoming harder as their technology grew more sophisticated. Unknown to the humans, Science Officer Drac continued his investigation. Something about Earth's development reports bothered him. The patterns were too consistent, the questions humans asked too carefully framed. Unlike other young species who constantly pushed boundaries, humans seemed oddly content with their limitations. Run a deep analysis on their energy consumption, he instructed his assistant. Compare their reported technological level with their planet's power usage. The results would take weeks to compile. By then, humanity's secret would be another step closer to revelation. 3 years, possibly 2, Minna replied. We need to be careful, though. If they realize what we're doing, they might restrict access further. The meeting established a new strategy. Publicly, Earth would appear content with its Category 4 status, even expressing gratitude for the aliens' guidance. Privately, every resource would be directed toward technological advancement. Universities worldwide established special programs that officially studied alien languages and culture, but secretly worked on engineering problems. Military research facilities repurposed to examine the few alien artifacts humans were allowed to possess. Even private companies joined the effort, their work hidden behind innocent commercial projects. Tahoe took on the role of chief liaison with the Galactic Council, using his position to gather information while presenting the image of a respectful, somewhat naive human official. Ambassador Liska seemed to enjoy mentoring him. "Your species shows promise," the alien told him during one of their regular meetings. "With proper guidance, you may someday contribute meaningfully to galactic society." "We are honored by your confidence," Tahoe replied, hiding his thoughts behind a humble smile. What Liska didn't know was that Tahoe recorded every conversation, noting casual references to alien technologies that the ambassador considered far beyond human understanding. These offhand comments provided valuable clues for Earth's scientists. 1 year after first contact, Byongho's team achieved their first major breakthrough, a power source that improved upon alien designs by combining them with human approaches to quantum physics. The device was small but produced energy more efficiently than anything publicly known in galactic society. President Juwu examined it personally, holding the small cylinder with reverence. "Can they detect this technology if we use it?" "No," Byongho assured her. "It operates on principles they consider theoretical. They won't be looking for something they believe impossible for us." "Then we proceed as planned," Juwu decided. "Build more. Integrate them into our research facilities first, then our defense systems." As the aliens continued to treat humans as clever children needing guidance, Earth prepared for the day it would reveal its true capabilities. The Council had made a critical error in judgment. They had evaluated humanity by their own standards, failing to recognize that sometimes the fastest learners are those with the most to prove. 8 years passed. Earth maintained its appearance as an obedient, grateful newcomer to galactic society. On the surface, humans followed all the rules set by the Galactic Council. They traded only through approved channels, submitted regular progress reports, and never questioned their Category 4 status. Alien visitors to Earth saw exactly what they expected: a young species slowly adopting basic galactic technologies. But deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, hidden within a massive underwater complex, shielded from all known detection methods, humanity's true progress unfolded. Dr. Minho Lee stood before a holographic display that filled the center of the circular laboratory. 20 of Earth's finest scientists watched as swirling patterns of light stabilized into a perfect geometric structure. "The quantum alignment is stable," he announced, his voice calm despite the historic moment. "We've achieved what they said would take centuries." The room remained silent for 3 seconds before erupting in cheers. These men and women had worked for years, often living in the underwater facility for months at a time, all to reach this moment. Nearby, engineer Yuna Kang made final adjustments to the prototype drive. Her hands moved with precise confidence over controls that would have baffled even advanced alien engineers. "Their approach was fundamentally flawed," she said, looking up from her work. "They never considered parallel dimensional anchoring." Minho nodded in agreement. The Galactic Council races all follow the same technological path. They build on each other's work, but rarely question the foundations. The prototype drive represented humanity's greatest achievement, a propulsion system that could move ships instantly across vast distances without using the established jump points that all galactic travel depended on. It wasn't just an improvement on alien technology. It was something entirely new. Director Sun Woo Choi entered the laboratory, his presence immediately drawing attention. As the leader of Earth's secret advancement program, he carried the weight of humanity's future on his shoulders. "President Juwu will arrive in 1 hour to witness the first test," he announced. "Everything must be perfect." The sleek alien vessel descended through Earth's atmosphere, landing on the specially prepared platform in Seoul. Director Tahoe Kim watched with measured calm as the doors opened, revealing the delegation from the Galactic Council. "Welcome to Earth," Tahoe said, bowing slightly. Ambassador Liska, a tall being with iridescent skin, nodded. "Your world has finally achieved sufficient technology for contact. The Council welcomes you as a Category 4 civilization." Tahoe maintained his diplomatic smile, but inside, he felt a flicker of irritation. Category 4, barely above primitive by galactic standards. The aliens have been watching Earth for decades, yet they still underestimated humanity's potential. The welcoming ceremony proceeded as planned. World leaders gathered to greet the visitors, news channels broadcast the historic moment, and citizens around the globe celebrated first contact. In public, humans acted appropriately awed and grateful. Later that evening, in a secure underground facility beneath the presidential compound, Tahoe met with President Juwu Park. The room was shielded against all known forms of surveillance, a precaution that the aliens might find paranoid or telling if they knew about it. "They think we're primitive," Tahoe explained, displaying the classification documents Liska had provided. "They've offered us basic trade rights and minimal technology access." Juwu smiled, her eyes sharp with intelligence. "Perfect. Let them underestimate us. Meanwhile, every piece of their technology that touches our soil will be studied. Assign Director Hyun to lead the research team." "Already done, Madam President." The next morning, Tahoe led Ambassador Liska on a tour of Seoul's technology district. The alien moved with a fluid grace, towering over the humans around them. Citizens stared openly, some taking pictures despite the government's request for restraint. "Your people seem quite excitable," Liska observed. "This is our first encounter with life beyond Earth," Tahoe explained. "You must forgive our enthusiasm. Of course, all young species react similarly." Young. The word carried condescension that Tahoe chose to ignore. "We hope to learn much from the Galactic Council," he said instead. "In time," Liska replied. "Your civilization must advance gradually. Too much knowledge too quickly can be destabilizing." Later that week, the aliens presented their first technology offering, a medical scanner that could detect diseases earlier than any human device. It was impressive but deliberately limited. The scanner came with strict usage protocols and no access to its inner workings. "This device will save many lives," Liska announced at the public ceremony. What the aliens didn't know was that Director Hyun's team had already prepared specialized equipment to analyze the scanner. Within hours of receiving it, they had begun their work in a hidden laboratory. Byung-ho Hyun was brilliant and methodical. He'd been chosen not just for his technical skills, but for his ability to think differently from conventional scientists. "They've integrated biological components with quantum scanning," he told Tahoe after 3 days of analysis. "It's elegant, but they've clearly held back. This is centuries behind what they're actually using." "Can we reverse engineer it?" Tahoe asked. "Better. We can improve it," Byung-ho said with quiet confidence. "They approach quantum mechanics differently than we do. There are blind spots in their thinking." At the official level, diplomatic relations continued smoothly. The Galactic Council established an embassy in Seoul, and Earth sent representatives to the Council's headquarters on a distant space station. Humans were given limited visiting rights to certain alien worlds, always closely monitored. 6 months after first contact, the Council made its position clear. Earth would remain under technological supervision for at least 50 years before advancing to Category 3 status. Until then, humans could observe but not participate in galactic governance. President Juwu called an emergency meeting with her inner circle. 50 years is unacceptable," she stated flatly. "By their timeline, we wouldn't achieve full membership for centuries." "The aliens believe technological development follows a predictable path," Tahoe explained. "They don't understand how quickly humans can adapt and innovate." Scientist Mina Yang, who had been working with Byung-ho's team, spoke up. "We've already made breakthroughs based on their medical scanner. Their approach to energy manipulation gave us insights into our own fusion research." How long before we can demonstrate capabilities that will force them to reconsider our status? Ju asked.